Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Jeannie's Dishes, but in this case, we are going to be talking about Universal Studios. I am going to do a list of, I have a cat behind me and you can't see because I have my virtual background. Our video is going to be about my top 3 picks on rides, places to eat, and my bucket list of things I want to do next time I go, and which is going to be in a few months. And this is going to be for Universal Orlando, Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and City Walk. So we're going to cover everything. So, oh my gosh, my hair, what is happening? Okay, so we are going to start with, I have my notes here. So, Universal rides. So at number 3, I have E.T. It's a classic. It's a fun ride. If you grew up in the 80s, you know E.T. very well. I personally have seen that movie in the movie theaters back in the 80s at least 8 times, back when you would go to the movie theaters over and over and over again. It didn't cost a ton of money. So I absolutely love that movie. So that's my number 3. It's very nostalgic for me. Number 2, The Mummy. Oh my gosh, this ride is amazing. The movie was very fun, a little scary sometimes, but fun. And the ride is equally as fun. And not scary really, but it's fun. A lot of twists and turns and some surprises, and it's funny. The first time I went on it, I had no idea that it was a roller coaster. Spoiler alert, it's a roller coaster, because it doesn't start off that way. It starts off kind of slow and you're kind of going into the story, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're like full on roller coaster ride. So the next year we went, again, I forgot it was a roller coaster. So when it started taking off, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot it was a roller coaster. So it was kind of a surprise. I won't forget that again, I promise you. So number 1 on my list of rides at Universal Studios, my absolute favorite ride is Gringolts, or Escape from Gringolts, I think is that the actual title. So this is in Diagon Alley in the Harry Potter world. It is such a fun ride, and equally as fun is going through the queue. Oh my gosh, if you have not been on this ride or been even in line for this ride, it's so immersive and so amazing. They did such a great job. And this ride is not like any ride I've ever been on before. It's got a little bit of everything. I don't want to spoil it for people that may be going to it for the first time, but believe me, it's amazing. I just can go on that ride over and over again. And as I'm speaking and talking, I'm hopefully gonna be putting up maybe some pictures of the queues and a little bit of pieces of the ride maybe. So stay tuned for that. So those are my top 3 rides at Universal Studios. Now let's switch gears. Oh wait, I have to do my top bucket list ride for Universal Studios. And every year I chicken out, but this year I promise you I am not going to chicken out. I am going to go on Rip Ride Rocket. It's your classic, upside down roller coaster ride. The thing that scares me about it is the when you first start, it goes straight up. And then it goes over this little tiny hill and then goes swooping right down. And I'm very apprehensive about that part. And the rest I would be fine. So I am going to bite the bullet and I'm going to go. And yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this time. So, okay, that's my bucket list ride for Universal. All right, so our top 3 eats for Universal. At number 3, we have Mel's Dine-In. It's your basic kind of like hamburger joint, diner-ish kind of thing. It kind of takes place like maybe in the 50s era, and the milkshakes are good, the burgers are good, fun atmosphere. So that's my number 3. And a side note, during Halloween Horror Nights, they changed the sign at the top to say Mel's Die-In. They take the N out, and that's kind of a cool thing for Halloween Horror Nights. So that's fun. Number 2 is the Leaky Cauldron in Diagon Alley. We went there for lunch, and I think I had the chicken sandwich, and my husband had either shepherd's pie or something else, some kind of English pub food. And we both liked our food, and the inside of this place is amazing. It's like right out of the movie. So if you've seen Harry Potter, you've seen the Leaky Cauldron in the movie, just like it, and it's amazing. And the food, like I said, is really good portions. It's going to be expensive. You're in a theme park. Most foods in a theme park is expensive, so just expect that. So yeah, we really, really love it. Great theming and great food. Number 1, and this is our most favorite place to go at Universal, and that is Finnegans. Finnegans is like an Irish pub place right in the New York area of Universal Studios, kind of down the street from Jimmy Fallon's ride. And actually, it's diagonally across from the Mummy ride, so you'll see it down this little side street. And oh my gosh, the food, so good. And again, I think I had the chicken sandwich there too. I don't know what it is with chicken sandwiches. I've had the burger there too. My husband, again, he either had the shepherd's pie or some other pie. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. But yeah, again, we go there every year, several times during our vacation. Never had a bad meal. Spacious like restaurant. Of course, they have beer and everything else, and it's air conditioned, and just a really nice place to eat and to relax and take a break from the crazy hustle and bustle of the theme park. So that is my number 1 pick for Universal Studios Eats. Those are my top 3, and definitely check it out. So now we are going to switch gears, and we're going to hop over to Islands of Adventure. So here we are at Islands of Adventure, and these are going to be my top 3 rides for Islands of Adventure. At number 3, which is right behind me, the Hulk. Love this ride. Hulk is amazing. It's a launch roller coaster. It launches through this tube here, and you just go zipping around this whole thing. So it's a very, very cool ride, and they just redid it a few years ago. It's this very smooth ride, fun, fast. If you like roller coasters, you're going to love this ride. That's my number 3 pick. Number 2, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. And this is in Hogsmeade in Islands of Adventure. Again, it's in a very immersive Harry Potter area. And you go to the back, and you can't miss the gigantic castle, Hogwarts Castle. The queue, just as immersive as Diagon Alley, the Gringolts ride. It's just you going through the castle, you see the talking pictures and the sorting hat, and you even see some of the characters from Harry Potter in there, and Harry Potter himself actually is in there. And the ride, again, it's not like a ride I've ever been on, ever. So, and again, I don't want to give anything away in case you've never been on it. You have to go on this ride. Even if you haven't maybe seen Harry Potter, I would definitely check this ride out, and you might want to see the movie after you go on this ride. So, very, very cool ride. Very cool. Number 1, and I don't think this is going to be any surprise for anybody here, is the Hagrids Motorbike Adventure ride. And yes, hi Pastina. Pastina's behind me. She's over here. Hagrids is an amazing ride. You are on one of the motorbikes. There's a motorbike and a sidecar, so it's like you're side by side with whoever you're with. Someone picks the motorbike part, someone picks the sidecar. I was on the motorbike, and my husband was on the sidecar. And again, it's a very fast roller coaster. Like, I was surprised how fast it was. And there she saw her for a second there. And I couldn't believe how fast this ride was. It was a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot of other surprises. Again, don't want to give anything away, but I was thoroughly surprised at some of these things that happened. There's some animatronics in there. There's like a whole story about, obviously Hagrid and his magical motorbike, and you're helping him with something. And there's a whole story behind it. Like any ride at Universal or Islands of Adventure, there's a story behind the queue, the ride. So definitely pay attention to all the little details, because there are a lot. Universal puts a lot of time and effort into these rides to give you the most immersive and best experience possible. And it definitely shows in a lot of these rides. Now, not this trip, but probably the next trip, I'm sure the Velociraptor roller coaster will be on this list, because that ride looks amazing, and it's not open until 2021 at some time. So we'll probably not be there for that until our next trip. So that's the rides for Islands of Adventure. The next list is Islands of Adventure Eats. Now I have to admit, we haven't really eaten at Islands of Adventure. So this list is going to be my bucket list of things I want to try at Islands of Adventure, that I've heard a lot of good things about. I've seen a lot of dining reviews on some of these places. So yeah. So number 3, the Three Broomsticks. Now I've heard good and bad things about Three Broomsticks. It's in Hogsmeade. It's kind of similar to Leaky Cauldron. I think the menu is pretty similar too, but I just wanted to try it because we've never been there. Number 2, Backwater Bar. So this is kind of towards the entrance, and I think it's like a bar / like bar food type place. If you want to just grab a snack or something and just sit and relax and have a beer, this looks like a really cool place to go check out. And our number 1 is Confisco Grill. This looks really yummy too. And again, never been there, but reviews I've seen looks amazing. Definitely would like to try it out. And my extra bucket list, top of the list, I have to go next time, is Mythos. Mythos has been voted one of the number 1 eats in any theme park or any kind of amusement park in the country, like number 1. So that's got to say a lot. Why I've not been there yet, I have no idea. We passed by it actually on our way to Hogsmeade. Like you have to pass the area where it is to get into Hogsmeade, unless you go all the way the other side around by Jurassic World. So I passed this thing a lot, and I've never been in it. So I'm definitely going on our next trip to Mythos for lunch or a snack or something, for sure. All right, this is not City Walk by any means. This is actually, I think, Hard Rock, or no, this is Cabana Bay. Nope. So this is the Cabana Bay, in case you ever want to go. Very cool. So yeah, so let's do City Walk top 3 eats. Number 3, NBC Sports Bar. This just opened a few years ago. Humongous. It has a big jumbotron outside. You can't miss it. It's humongous. Sports type, like sports bar type food. Very, very good. We've been there several times for dinner, and we had good meals every time. It's a really, really big place. Food is really, really good. Number 2, Hard Rock Cafe. We've been there a lot for lunch and dinner. If you've ever been to a Hard Rock Cafe anywhere in the country, they all kind of have that same theme, rock and roll, a lot of memorabilia all over the walls. The Hard Rock Cafe in Orlando in Universal has a humongous pink Cadillac that spins around right above the bar. Really cool. This place is like 2 stories. It's huge. And they do have concerts there from time to time. I've never been to those, but yeah. So it's a very big venue and very, very good food. Again, chicken sandwich. Amazing. I don't know what it is with me and chicken sandwiches. Chicken sandwiches, burgers, salads. I think my husband had a fajita there once. Yeah, we kind of have a little bit of everything. And then our number one, and my husband and I kind of disagree on this. He thinks this should be number two and Hard Rock should be number one. But my number one is Bubba Gump. Bubba Gump is really, really good. And I was very hesitant in going at first. I first went there last year on our last trip. And I just thought it was a bunch of shrimp. And I'm like, I like shrimp, but that's a lot of shrimp. And I don't feel like maybe I have to be in the mood for shrimp or something. And then, oh, it's not just shrimp. It's got chicken and burgers and sandwiches and, oh my gosh, so much good food. And this isn't, again, this is a list for City Walk. So all these restaurants you can find in City Walk. Most of the time, you don't need a reservation. Maybe for dinner, especially on the weekends, you might. I would suggest maybe having an early dinner before, maybe going to the parks at night, or when you're done with the parks, go there on your way out before you go to your car, back to your resort or whatever. But Bubba Gump, yeah, very, very good. And again, it's all themed around the Forrest Gump movie. If you don't know what Bubba Gump is, it's based on the Forrest Gump movie. And my bucket list place, which I'm surprised we haven't gone to yet, but again, I've heard a lot of good reviews on this. I've seen a few dining reviews. Looks amazing, is Cowfish. Cowfish is kind of just like what it sounds. They have sushi, they have burgers, and anything in between. So they have like little bento boxes you can eat with some sushi, maybe some sliders. It's a strange combo if you think about it, but yeah, really, really, really good. And everyone that I've seen on YouTube that have been to Cowfish have always had nice things to say about it and the food. And again, another really big place. I think that place is 2 stories as well. And it's actually not too far from Bubba Gump, if I remember right. So again, I will try and post some pictures of these places up here. And I would love to know if you've been to Universal, what are your favorite places to eat? What are your favorite rides at any of the parks? I would love to know. Put a little comment below and let me know. So with that, thank you for joining. And please make sure to subscribe. And I will see you very soon. Have a good day.